The all-important game for both these teams. They want to get the win. I don't think they're looking at who they want to play or placing, playing against the number one opponent. They just want to win. Each team just wants to get their first win of the tournament.
So the starters for the Philippines, Maranyo, Belen, Baron, Nisperos, Manapat, and Cal is the setter as we open things up with Abi Maranyo. Starting out the proceedings here in the first set.
Well, in fact, obviously excited to see the veteran Andy Marano starting. He did not play in their first two games, so I'm sure this veteran is eager to show us and to lead this team.
It's important to see what kind of confidence yung meron itong Rebisco after again losing their first two games, both by a straight set. And that is a good hit, good start for Tehran as they get the first point on this matchup.
Yeah, that's one player that Peter Rebisco really needs to look out for. Number 7, Mona Asofte. She has been leading SAP so far in their last two games, even losing calls, but she's been the leading scorer for the team, so they have to check her.
Scored a dozen points in their last game. She must be well defended in this matchup. You immediately see na yung height nitong Iran, this Saipa squad will become a problem as they were able to deny Belen with that attempt.
Yeah, that's why, it's very important to acknowledge, like you said, the height difference, they're tall. So our floor defense, our coverage has to work extra, or I always say double time, because you're expecting the blocks to come, so you have to cover the floor.
Let's see if Philippines will get its first point here. Down to the nothing. That's coming from the blockers and sails out. It's 3-0 now for Saipa.
Very basic volleyball there. Just hitting it off the blockers. You can see the set was actually really high, but she just hits it off. Majoy Baron.
Mona Asofte. The 2 attack points now. Early in this ball game, yung problema kasi in the situation, playing sports amidst a pandemic, kalaban mo na yung opposing team, kalaban mo pa yung, the virus and the testing. Of course, we all know that the testing, there's no 100% test. So you never know really what's going to happen.
That's right. I mean, there are 4 players obviously that weren't cleared. They weren't cleared to play in the first game. And that alone is really, disheartening for the team, because obviously you have a first 6 already, and no, because they tested. But we have to say, they were part of a bubble. It didn't make sense. So you're right, there's no sure test out there.
Good effort from the libero, but it would not be enough. The lead now is at 4-1 for Saipa.
One thing we have to focus on as well is our blocking right now, because the balls have been going through our blockers.
Easy over. Opportunity here for Saipa to add on to their lead. That running attack is good for Surabe Bagerpur.
That's right. There's a great connection there for Saipa. Look at that set. That's a great slow-mo, really fooling Majoy Baron. And one blocker, no problem for Saipa.
That cross-court hit extends their advantage 5-1. This was a hot start that they were looking for. Siyempre, yung unang dalawang laro mo talo, so you need any sort of confidence that you can pick up here in the first set.
For sure.
And just too powerful, too strong. That was Masa Pagkoda scoring and adding to the tally. That's the Philippines. So kaisa-isang puntos galing sa error. Coming up a service error from Iran. As we have really not gotten our offense going yet.
Yeah, the girls' team Rebisco has really got to settle down here in the first set. I'm sure they're excited with this first 6, but they have to settle down. And that's the way to start.
Good back row hit there. As it will inch us closer, 6-2 now. Rin rin, itong kupunan natin, it's a combination of some veterans, but a lot of them are the younger players, the future superstars, of course, future, full-time national team members as well.
Yeah, we got to thank actually Coach Forehead for that. That's his, he was brought in from Brazil, and he made the program, obviously with our local coaches, Coach George Pasco and Jema, and they want to focus really on the youngsters. So early on, they want to expose them in all these international tournaments.
And that is why he was brought in, to give our program fresh eyes.
Yes.
Some things that we might not be used to doing before. Baka pwede nating subukan, he has the experience. But part of it is growing pains. You will not get results from the first competition that the new head coach is joining.
Of course. I mean, this one, we know that the girls have trained together for a short time because of all the pandemic situation, but it's nice that they're still here competing, and it's the start, it's the stepping stones to future tournaments.
Another point for Sudi. Back and forth, another cross-court hit. Mukhang yun yung nakikitang puwang sa depensa ng Pilipinas.
So obviously, the defensive formation of Team Rebisco has got to adjust. You've got to adjust to the spikers, to the blockers, and communication is key.
Manapa picked up by the libero, and that will be a point for the Philippines.
Manapa's always given Rebisco quality minutes. She didn't play the first game, but in the second game, impact player. So, she can be one of the first options for Team Rebisco, especially when she's in front. But she's also deadly in the back.
This is Manjoy Baron serving now. Down 4-7.
Good serve.
And that leads to this chance, an opportunity to score for Rebisco. Napayuan ng blocker. They'll try one more time. Easy over lamang yan from Manaba. Another hit there coming from number 8. That was Masa Saberi.
All angles talk about Saipa, the Saipa team.
And they have so many weapons na rin, no? Hindi lang iisa. I mean, we talked about the strength of Ashtope, but everyone is playing well for them as we have this first technical timeout. This is your 2021 Asian Women's Club Volleyball Championship in Nakhon Ratchasima in Thailand. Carla Pumitua and Noreen go on the call. This is the first set, the matchup between Saipa of Iran and Rebisco of the Philippines. So far, so good for the Iranian side. They have built an 8-4 advantage. Make that 9-4. After that, ball bounces out.
But one thing we have to focus on here is the first set. If you want to make it closer, is really our defense. Our blocking is not working. We're a step too late. You can see this Saipa squad is just taking advantage of that and hitting from all cylinders so far. So blocking has got to work so as to take the pressure off the back part of the court.
Dating attack, favorito ni Abby Maraño as she scores there to stem the bleeding so far and give her team some confidence locating the gap between the two blockers.
That's right, that element of surprise that we can use. We know Maraño, that's her bread and butter play. And if you can go to that, it would be a bright spot for Team Rebisco.
But serving is something that you cannot do at this stage. Lalo-lalo na, hirap na hirap ka makakuha ng puntos. The service error, as that one sails long.
You can see her reaction to that. She can have that back. She knows, so they're trying to mount a rally here, and those things you don't want to see.
Matagal yung pinaghirapan, yung puntos na nakuha ni Abby Maraño, and then all of a sudden you give it right back, 10-5.
Yeah.
It's a good serve coming from Saipa. Friendly touch from the net there from Faith Nisperos gives them a point.
We'll take it. So she has been impressive, this very young player, Faith Nisperos. He has played by a couple of inconsistencies, errors, but as a whole, you like what you see. She's learning from every game, and we're hoping that she'll be a better player after this tournament.
Just 21 years old.
Yeah.
Her UAAP career severely affected by the pandemic and only played a couple of games, I believe. And then she gets a service. Hey, how about this fellow? Back-to-back points for her.
We did not jinx her, okay? So She got an ace. Very much needed for Team Releasco. And you can see that individually their talent really is a matter of gelling and playing together longer.
Chemistry is something that you cannot force. It has to be
true.
It has to take time. It has to be given enough time to come together. A good fight back here from the Philippines. Naibaba na lang ng Saifa. Oh, that drop is good for Mona Ashofte.
Yeah, the leading star we said earlier, but you know, obviously the scouting reports of Team Releasco, so much respect for this player that they were too far from the drop. Smart sit there.
Iniwasan niyo yung dalawang blockers, no? Went to the side with a drop. As they lead 11-7. But much better effort after the first technical timeout, and this is another point for Maran.
Yeah, you can see the movement of Team Releasco actually smoother and faster now. The first few parts of this set, you can see like they were hesitant, tentative, a step late, but you know, never too late to get your groove.
Of course, the leadership as well as the points din yung kinakailangan from Abing Maranyo. Has performed well here in the first set. And that is another point, an error. An attacking error coming from Saifa. Pulls us within at 2, 11-9.
That's right, don't look now. They're knocking at their doors.
You know, sometimes even if makauna sa first technical timeout yung palaban, sometimes it's what you need to calm yourself down and compose yourself.
That's true. That's true. It's really how, you know, the timeouts, what the coaches say, and how you absorb what the coaches say, and implement all your plays. I mean, you've done it in practice.
But another response coming from Mona Ashofte. Getting it off the block there. Check out this play one more time from Manaba. That was wide open, no blockers in front of her.
Yeah, so Tomiuka now is doing a better job in ball distribution. Getting Manabat involved. And if you want Manabat to be in the zone.
Yeah. She could be your, best source for points in this matchup.
For sure.
Again, she was not able to join the squad in the first game. That was no second game. Siyempre, fresh off the being in the health and safety protocols, hindi naman pwedeng ibabad mo agad-agad, di ba? Because being in the health and safety protocols means you're stuck in your room. Diba? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-workout, hindi ka pwedeng mag-pawis. So it affects your condition also. Good pick up here and the ball will stay alive. 13-10 in favor of Saifa.
Good block, yeah. Now they're in the groove, no? But yeah, in yesterday's game, even in the losing cause, see Manabat, the moment she stepped in, I think in the second set, there's this sudden energy that even we could feel. So imagine the team, and then in the third set as well. So I guess the team Releasco is also excited that she's getting to start together with Abby Maran.
It's a different kind of confidence when you have a winner, a champion, and an outstanding player joining your squad.
Yeah.
Mas maganda lang talaga yung pakiramdam. As we get another point here, look at this. This Peros adding to her tally, and just like that, Saifa versus Philippines is now a 1-point game.
Well, the Philippines, again, finding their groove right now, slowly but surely, and we've got a ball game.
Rebisco fighting back, and that was Mona failing to receive that properly. They will request this time out. 13-12. They're good fight back coming from Rebisco. Miss Peros Manabat, and of course Maraño all chipping in.
But again, we gotta mention to you now a better job distributing the ball, and that's what you want. You want to fool the blockers. You want to make them think and keep thinking, who am I going to block? Who am I going to block? And there's so many options right now for Ribisco.
So the veterans having first-hand opportunity to show the youngsters such as Nisperos what to do in these kinds of situations.
Yeah, just gotta keep fighting.
Siyempre yung mga batang players natin as we get a service ace courtesy of Belen. You know, the youngsters here have a very limited international experience. You know, pwedeng komportable ka na when it's your school competing against another school, if it's varsity. But it's different internationally.
Of course, it's different. It's like, we love it when we see our national, we have a national team that actually goes abroad to compete, the exposure and what they can learn from, even just competing with foreign teams. That's big.
That attack was sent back to Manabat. She could not pick it up, kaya babalik ang lamang sa Saipa 14-13. But it's like watching a different Ribisco squad after the first technical timeout. And they have gotten into their groove.
And they shouldn't forget also that Saipa is a tall team.
Yeah.
They can block. So, yes, we narrowed the gap to just one for the 13-14. But floor defense coverage has still got to work because they still expect the blocks to be there.
There we go. Kyle sending a perfect one to Manabat with a kill.
But we know Manabat can do that. She can hit from any position, opposite, with any part of the wing, even the center. She was once a middle blocker herself.
Towering over the two blockers. Back to a deadlock at 40 all.
Yeah, the more important thing is they put pressure on Team Saipa, who was just cruising early on in this first set.
This is a good chance for Ribisco to take the lead. The quick depensahan from Maraño. And then they committed an attacking error. 15-14, lamang na ang Ribisco.
So you can see how different a team plays if you put pressure on them, take out that confidence that they had at the start of this set, and now they're committing the errors.
The Saipa look unstoppable when they scored their first 8 points of this matchup, but all of a sudden, Ribisco coming alive.
And what you like is no substitutions for me.
Yes.
It's just that you said it earlier, that technical timeout and a bit of reminders by Coach Jorge.
Good blocking from the Philippines, a combination of Maraño and Manabat with the denial.
Look at that reaction.
So we will head into our second technical timeout with the Philippines holding a 2-point lead. The fiery Maraño Manabat leading the charge as our squad is up 16-14 against Saipa of Iraq.
From sports news to sports conversation.
Manjoy Baron serving 16-14. As we welcome you back to our coverage here on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Everything was going right for Saipa, but now they commit another attacking error. This cross-court hit is wide. And Ribisco Philippines goes ahead by 3.
That's the effect of a good block. Once you get a good stop block, it'll make your opponent think when they're hitting, do I challenge the blocker? And then sometimes he's hitting errors.
That drop, nabantayan. At least it stays alive for Ribisco. Back row hit. Good dig. Maraño sets it up. Disperos dug up there. This rally continues. And that one is in.
Yeah, finding the corner pocket there. So that's their leading scorer. Not surprising, Mona Shofte.
The final group day in your 2021 Asian Women's Club Volleyball Championship. Again, the competition's happening in Nakhon Ratchasima. in Thailand.
Yeah, and this tournament will actually end on the 7th of October, so watch out for the games after this game.
Oh, good hit coming from these Peros.
Well, you can feel the confidence of Miss Eras, at least in today's game.
And you saw that she was just really angling to hit it off the blocker's arms right there.
It's well thought of.
So the IQ, the experience beyond her years, this Peros playing very well. That quick is too tough to stop. As Saipa will get a point back. It will serve 16-18.
Yeah, that's a smart set. Made it so fast. Abby Marano was even late for that block.
Ganyan talaga pag maganda yung reception of serve. Just opens up all your options.
A window of opportunity.
That tap, picked up by the libero, but it will be enough for a point.
Avalanche smart hit there, realizing that hole there in the center. See. Smart.
Philippines playing much better now as we have substitutions. Number 1, that is Makie Kachekolai, seeing her first action of this matchup.
And what you like is everyone is contributing. You know, everyone. We talked about Marano, Nisperos, and then Manaba. Everyone's contributing. Let's wait for Cal to get her point.
But Saipa pulls one back one more time. That one hitting the blockers before sailing out of bounds. But at least there's presence now. Kanina halos hindi na babasa yung mga attacks itong Saipa.
Yep, better anticipation.
Tough reception there. They will attack anyway. Good dig for the joust, and there is a point. Another one goes to Saipa.
Yeah, they call a net violation on Camille Cal.
19-18 in favor of Rebisco Philippines, and Coach Jorge Edson Souza de Brito calls this time out. At this stage, a crucial moment in the first set, as Rebisco is still looking for their first set win in this entire competition. They were swept by the squads from Kazakhstan, Itokantai, and then of course Supreme Chonburi of Thailand, hoping to build some confidence by picking up the first against Saipa of Iran.
But you like that timeout, really, because they worked hard in this set to get that, to actually grab the lead, so you don't want to watch it slip away.
Let's see how that timeout worked out. We go to Manaba. Easy over. Another chance here for Rebisco. But to the other side, that was off the blockers for Belen.
That's right. You can see the way she angled her follow through, really just hitting it off the blockers. Very smart hit, even for this youngsters.
It's really good to see yung mga nakababatang players also chipping in. Diba? Matching yung mga output ng kanilang mga ate, sila Manabat, Maranyo. Deanna, one of our leading scorers in the first two matches, averages about 7 points per matchup. Checks in at the latter stage of this first set.
Well, obviously, they wanted more for defense in that rotation.
Ako service error. She checks out once again. Belen, babalik.
Yeah, people are asking why Belen just scored a point. Why the substitution? Coaches do that, you know. They wanted, obviously, can be there for blocking purposes. But yeah, service error.
The perception, pero nahulugan. Nicole, a smart move coming from her. She did not have a lot of options in terms of setting it up.
And she gets on the scoreboard as well. That's huge. That's going to be huge.
Was not able to score a single point against Supreme, but gets one here. A crucial one. Again, you were talking about floor defense. It has to be a little bit better than that.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that she really angled it. Going cross court, hitting the blockers, and yeah, you can see Manaba really far from that.
Tama yung unang pwesto niya eh.
Yeah.
That was a problem with it. Her initial positioning was correct, but when she adjusted, dun bumukas yung opening for Saipa.
Yeah, because when she adjusted, the hitter also adjusted.
Yep.
Oh, good save.
Easy over will not work. And this rally will continue. Kyle sets it up. Manaba set up.
Chance.
Ganda pagkakataon nito, Kyle. Puts it up. The dip. Still nothing there for Baron. That cross court is good. Just like that, we're all tied up. 21 apiece.
Yeah, I love that hit from Saipa. That was a pressure-laden hit, but he gets the point.
And that was Masa Kankoda. Scoring there, finding the gaps in the defense of the Visco Philippines and pulling her team level, 21 apiece.
And Philippines needs one stop right here. Oh,
That will not work at this stage of the matchup. Basanayan ng Iran and then they score off another point courtesy of Masa Kankoda. Now the Philippines down by 1 will call this time out. So as a coach, these moments are so important because you also learn a lot about your players in situations like this.
yeah, for sure. I mean, especially
Here we go, Philippines down by 1. Almost counter from Manaba off the timeout. That is how you respond.
yeah, you know she can do that. I mean, right now, you gotta go big or go home. I mean, she's been dropping and they've been reading that, so get your hits.
Now it is Saipa's turn to call their own timeout. And the score is tied at 22.
Well, obviously, both teams right now know the importance of winning this first set. Both teams have yet to have a victory in this tournament, so this first set will be huge on strategy, calling the timeout, trying to gain the momentum back to both squads.
Of course, in these situations, kung puporsyento ka na rin lang, why not Manaba?
Yeah.
So has led the start in scoring here in the opening set. See Majoy Maron, a little blocker. But it will be Micaela Belen.
Well, she got an ace. She
Yeah.
had an ace early on.
This is a decent opportunity for the Philippines. Nisperos almost there, could not get it. Another nice chance. Shaw sends it up.
What a smart hit there for Desperos. Again, let's go back to the confidence now. She's exuding confidence here in this first set. Smart hit there.
1 point lead for the Visco Philippines. Belen will serve again. Another good serve. Oh! Over reception. Somehow, some way, Saipa found a way to
Obviously, both teams feeling pressure right now. You know, Majoy Baron, normally, that's already a point for her, but they're a little tense because of nerves. But they gotta shake it off here.
Masakad Kona serving for Iran, 23 all. Not the best of receptions there. Oh, what a mistake from Iran.
That's gonna be painful for Team Saiba, that miscommunication at this latter part of the first set.
Heaven sent for Hibisco Philippines, and that will put our squad to set point 24 to 23. Laure about to check in.
Well, that is trust for you. And Laure, big serve, and we have set point. We have a full front line. That's going to be huge for Philippines.
Here we go. Ian Laure will serve for the set. 24 to 23 in favor of Revisco Philippines.
Good serve.
That's out. Oh no. What? She whistled the point to Kazakhstan, but then it was out?
Are they gonna challenge?
Check this out one more time. Oh, that looked long.
Yeah.
Oh, it was ruled as a check by one of the officials. So it will be 24 all.
Well, it is what it is.
Replay on.
Oh,
Miscommunication for Nabisco opens the door for Saipa, and that leads to that powerful hit that gives him the lead.
well, it's not a time for miscue right now. For Team Revisco, you've got to trust your teammates that you know what they're going to do. And you got to do your part.
Here we go. The character being tested early for Nabisco, down by 1. Wow. Mr. Manabat. It was well defended. That's a tough point to give up, especially when it is for the set. Difficult way to lose this one for Revisco Philippines, but there are a lot of positives to build on. Just not enough for them to pick up the first set. And they will end up losing 26 to
6 seconds.